Shalom, shalom, y'all. Of course, first and foremost, I do want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto the Most High God, Amen, Yahweh. Right, we do so in the name of His only begotten Son, who the world inwardly calls Jesus Christ. Right, today will be fairly short, right? A fairly short class, or live, I should say. But we're going to be focusing on what would the kingdom of heaven look like. Right, what would it look like? Right, this is more so for as like a faith booster to boost brothers and sisters' faith um in the walk, to get us ready and prepared, I should say, for what will come, Lord willing, as we enter into the kingdom. Right. And then of course, we have Rob Yawasop live. He's debating somebody. So if y'all would rather much so get some of that entertainment instead of being on this live, go get your entertainment. I understand you. I ain't knocking. Right. But Rob is live right now as well. He's debating a Christian on Rob Yawasop. Right. So again, if y'all would rather have that entertainment for a debate, by all means, don't feel bad. Y'all can go ahead and go enjoy that brother's live debate. And Ariela's live as well too. I mean, but spicy as hell. Let's get a couple precepts really quick before we get into the visualization of the kingdom of heaven. Let's get Isaiah. Hmm, 50 and 50. Let's get Isaiah 50 really quick. Right, Isaiah 50 and 1. It says, thus saith the Lord, where is the bill of your mother's divorcement, whom I have put away? Or which of my creditors is it to whom I sold you? Behold, for your iniquities have you sold yourself. That for your transgressions is your mother put away. Right? So we see that the reason for our divorcement from Yahweh, not a literal divorcement, but more so, us in a separational state between us and our God. Right? Because according to the law, bill of divorcements can be given out if certain things happen, right? But there is something called a separation, right? Meaning she doesn't go and, sleep with somebody else and you don't give her a bill of divorce, but y'all separate for a short period of time in hopes of reconvening and, rejuvenating the love that y'all had and wish to have for each other, right? That's the kind of position we in with Yahweh right now. We separate. You feel me? It's just a separation stage, but sooner or later he will make a new covenant with us, right? But that is just where is this verse at? Is it? Oh, what the man. Isaiah 59 and 2, slide here. It says, but your iniquities have separated between you and your God, and your sins have hid his face from you that he will not hear. Right? Why do I bring that up? Let me show you. Let me show you. Zechariah 8. Watch this. Zechariah 8 and 1 in the GNT. Now, we're going to read the majority of this chapter, if not all of it, right? But I want to focus on the first two verses really quick. First three. It said, the Lord Almighty, gave his message to Zechariah. I have longed to help Jerusalem because of my deep love for her people, a love which made me angry with her enemies. So there's a question that lingers around every now and then. You know, if God loves you, why would he send these enemies against you? And if God, that's one question. He sent the enemies because of our disobedience. That doesn't mean that he hates us. He still has a deep love for us. He's just punishing us because of our disobedience. But there's another question. That basically is like, if God, why would God utilize other nations to punish Israel, then turn around and get mad at them for doing, speaking of the other nations, for doing what they simply were told? They were told to punish the nation of Israel. Why would God get mad? Right? This is why he gets mad at them. You guys are utilized to punish us, but because he has such a deep love for the nation of Israel, he gets angry when y'all touch him. Right? It's almost as if, I'm not gonna say that. Right? But those, right? I'm gonna read verse 3 first. It says, I'll return to Jerusalem, my holy city, and live there. It will be known as the faithful city and the hill of the Lord Almighty, and will be called the sacred hill. Right? So if y'all are unfamiliar with Baruch, right? It's a beautiful book. Right? Baruch, in the latter portion of 4, and then in chapter 5, he gives a perception of Jerusalem as a woman, right? So he basically speaks on behalf of Jerusalem, the land, right? And we're going to get a couple of things. Oh, okay. Okay, that makes sense. Right? So let's read this. We're going to start at verse 22 and then we're going to jump down. It says, For my hope is in the everlasting, that he will save you. The you would be speaking about Israel. The my hope would be the land of Jerusalem, and the everlasting would be the Father. Right? So Jerusalem is hoping that the Father would save us. It says, And joy has come unto me from the Holy One because of the mercy which shall soon come unto you from the everlasting our Savior. Watch this. What just happened? Jumping down to verse 30, it says, Take a good heart, O Jerusalem, for he that gave thee that name will comfort you. Miserable are they that afflicted you, and rejoiced at your fall. Miserable are the cities which thy children served. Miserable is she that receiveth thy son. Speaking about judgment towards the other nations, let's go to chapter 5. It says, Put off, O Jerusalem, the garment of mourning and affliction, and put on the comeliness of the glory that cometh from God forever. Cast thee a double garment of the righteousness which cometh from God, and set a diadem on thine head, the glory of the everlasting. Right? So it's basically us getting delivered. Right? Verse 6. For they departed from thee on foot and were led away of their enemies, but God bringeth them unto thee. But God bringeth them unto thee exalted with glory as children of the kingdom. For God has appointed that every high hill and the banks of long continuance should be cast down and the valleys filled up, to make even the ground that Israel may go safely in the glory of the Lord. Moreover, even the woods and every sweet smelling tree shall overshadow Israel by the commandment of God. For God shall lead Israel with joy in the light of his glory, and with mercy and righteousness that cometh from him. Right? So we're talking about the deliverance of our people. We stressed, okay? We are a highly stressed people, but we can handle the stress. And especially in these latter days, the days of our future, Lord willing, Us in the wilderness, us in the battle of Jehoshaphat, us getting into the land, it's going to be a stressful time, right? Especially for those who are going to be in the wilderness, it's going to be a stressful time, right? We need rest, right? And this is exactly what Yahweh has promised us. Watch this. We're going to read this first before we go back to Zechariah 8. Isaiah 61 and 10. I have too much stuff up here. Isaiah 61 and 10. It says, I will greatly rejoice in Yahweh. My soul shall be joyful in my God. For he hath clothed me with the garments of salvation. He hath covered me with the robe of righteousness, as a bridegroom decketh herself or himself with ornaments, and as a bride adorneth herself with her jewels. For as the earth bringeth forth her bud, and as the garden causeth the things that are sown in it to spring forth, so Yahweh causeth righteousness and praise to spring forth before all the nations. This is us in a time. Damn, I should start at verse 9. Salakia. And their seed shall be known among the Gentiles, and their offspring among the people, and all that see them shall acknowledge them. They are the seed which Yahweh hath blessed. So in the kingdom, in the time of our ruling, in the time of our ruling, we're going to be in a state of mind and a state of recognition that all the nations will acknowledge that Black, Hispanic, and Native American women, Black, Hispanic, Native American children, and Black, Hispanic, and Native American men are the blessed of Yahweh, right? The chosen of Yahweh, those whom he has chose. So it's not like we walk around unrecognized, right? It's not like we walk around, that we walk around as people I have a question, brother. For the elect who do get resurrected and transformed into those spiritual bodies in the kingdom and become rulers, will they be able to reproduce? Of course. Right? I'm gonna get you a verse in a second. But absolutely, we could just get it right now. Just 2 chapters before. All right, watch this. One, before we read this, just ask yourself, and this is what I spoke about with somebody dealing with reincarnation. Having kids are a blessing, right? Having kids are beautiful, right? They bring joy, they bring laughter, they bring literally a couple of headaches. You know what I mean? But they bring a lot of joy, laughter, and love, not only from within yourself, but coming from them, right? Nothing's more contagious than a baby laughing. It doesn't matter where you at. If a baby is hysterically laughing, there's nothing more contagious than that. Showing you how, kids bring joy into the world, right? But I'm gonna read you 2 verses, and then Zechariah 8. That is what speaks about it. But let's go to Isaiah 59. Is it 59? It's not 59. It's lucky. Hold on. And then the wrong chapter. Isaiah 49. Boom. Isaiah 49 and 18. It says, lift up your eyes round about, and behold, all these gather themselves together and come to thee, as I live, saith Yahweh. Thou shalt surely clothe thee with them all, as with an ornaments like, and bind them on thee as a bride doeth. For your wastes and desolate places, and the land of thy destruction shall even now be too narrow by reason of the inhabitants, and they that swallow thee up shall be far away. So this is speaking about not a literal, the land will be too small for everybody. No, it's speaking about we're just going to be such a fruitful people that we're just going to fill the whole land, right? So when we keep reading, Verse 20, the children which you shall have after you have lost the other shall say again in your ears, this place is too straight for me. Give place to me that I may dwell. Right. So this is speaking about you know, not necessarily the children not having no room, but it's just being like, listen, we just a fruitful people, right? We everywhere, we in abundance. Are you talking about? Yeah, I figured you was talking about this. Nah, this is not speaking about um the resurrection like First Thessalonians 4, where it speaks about the dead in Christ shall rise first. It's not speaking about this. I'm gonna show you what it's speaking about. Right. The whole context is the question that he's being asked by the Sadducees, right? Because they want to play games with him. Right. So Matthew 22 and 23 says the same day came to him the Sadducees, which that there is no resurrection, which say that there is no resurrection, and asked him, right? So they don't believe in a resurrection, saying, Master, Moses said, if a man die having no children, his brother shall marry his wife, and raise up seed unto his brother. That's the law. Now there were with the seven brethren, and the first, when he had married a wife, deceased, and having no issue, left his wife unto his brother. Likewise, the second also, and the third unto the seventh. Right. So a woman, she had a husband, he died before giving seed. So the next brother took her as a wife, and he was supposed to give her seed, but then he died before doing that, so on and so forth until the seventh. And then they say, and last of all, the woman died also. Right. So they're all dead. Therefore, in the resurrection, whose wife shall she be of the seven? For they all had her. So this includes the woman. They're asking who's supposed to be the husband of this wife. Now, your question is based on the elect that get resurrected. Um, when you say elect, are you talking about the 144,000? Or are you just speaking about people that come back to life? I'm gonna continue while you answer that. Therefore, in the resurrection, whose wife shall she be of the seven? For they all had her. Yahushua answered and said, you do err, not knowing the scriptures, nor the power of God. For in the resurrection, they neither marry nor are given in marriage, but are as the angels of God in heaven. Right? So this is not the kingdom of heaven, but this is the literal heaven. They're dead. They're all dead in the resurrection. Them in the spirit world, they don't have intercourse. Right? This is not talking about the resurrection of us in the time of the kingdom, because then we'll have a lot of problems um, with the scriptures like Isaiah 49. Right? But the reason why I asked you if you're asking about the elect is because you said for the elect who do get resurrected and transformed into those spiritual bodies in the kingdom and become rulers, will they be able to reproduce? Um, I don't know. That would have to be the elect because they're the rulers. But the kingdom is on earth. We will have terrestrial bodies um, in the kingdom. Our glorified body, which we're going to get in a second, is not like a complete spiritual body. It's more so, us not having to deal with the regular bodily functions like sicknesses, like death, like it's like diseases, stuff like that. It's not like we won't literally have flesh. You're gonna have flesh. It's just, not getting to decay like how we decay. You feel me? I get that right now. Watch this. Boom. Isaiah 65:17 says, "For behold, I create new heavens and new earth, and the former shall not be remembered nor come into mind." All this is not speaking about a literal new earth or a literal new heaven, but rather the rulership and authority that's on earth. And I don't know if y'all familiar with the divine council, but there will be a time where, there's no need for certain spirits. Now, will the devil, like Satan himself, will he be destroyed? I don't know, right? Because he's not going to be attacking us because we're not going to be sinning. We're going to have a completely new nature. But the heathens, we have that Zechariah 14 where it speaks about if they do not keep the Feast of Tabernacles, which is the law, they shall have no rain. So the devil still might exist, but certain things won't exist anymore. The saints, those that overcome to the end, to my understanding, that includes 144,000. Not entirely sure if there will be more. Yeah, there'll be other people outside of the 144,000 that are saved, which is the 1/3, which include women and children and other men as well. But the elect will be surely having their children. Right, but let's read this. Let's keep reading. It says, "But be glad and rejoice forever in that which I create. For behold, I create a Jerusalem a rejoicing and her people a joy. And I'll rejoice in Jerusalem and joy in my people, and the voice of weeping shall be no more heard in her, nor the voice of crying. And there shall be no more thence an infant of days, nor an old man that hath not filled his days." So there's going to be old men, but there's also going to be infants. Now, what it means by nor an old man that hath not filled his days, that's speaking about you're going to live your full lifespan. It's not going to be cut short, right? We got that curse from Adam where our lives are cut short, right? We don't live as long as we're not after the time of Noah. But Adam, we die, right? We have bodies that decay and we die. That curse that I was speaking about is in Genesis 6. I'll bring it up. Genesis. This is what I was speaking about. Genesis 6:3. This is after the flood. What is after the flood? No, this is right before the flood. Right before the flood. Boom, verse 3. It says, "And Yahweh said, My spirit shall not always strive with man, for that he is also flesh, yet his days shall be 120 years." Right? So that is the average lifespan. Like that's the max. That like y'all gonna be around this time. Y'all not finna be living till 600, 900 like they used to. Y'all finna, that's finna be cut short. We gonna cut that short. So it's just our lifespan being cut short. But over here, it says that an old man, that's the wrong one, that an old man has not filled his day, meaning you're gonna live long as hell. So it says, "For the child shall die at 100 years old." What does this mean? It means you're gonna be like a child until you're 100 years old. Then you kind of grow up. Does that mean you're literally gonna be walking around like a little kid for 100 years? I don't know. Maybe I'll kind of be unfamiliar because we ain't never been through that. But maybe. But it speaks about, a child is gonna die at 100 years, meaning that's when you're no longer considered a child, meaning we just gonna have these long lifespans. Where we think when we say child, a 15-year-old, that's a teenager. You feel me? That's not a child. Of course, we always gonna consider them a child, but that's not really a child. 15-year-old can usually cook for himself or herself. They can bathe themselves, that's not a child. He's damn sure not no infant. You feel me? But it says, but the sinner being 100 years old shall be accursed. Verse 21, they shall build houses and inhabit them. They shall plant vineyards and eat the fruit of them. They shall not build and another inhabit. Imagine that. Imagine you being able to build a crib, and nobody else has to inhabit that. Right? You don't even have to worry about you don't even have to worry about being evicted. That's your crib, right? That's yours. They shall not plant and another eat, meaning you plant your vineyards, bro, and you finna eat it. Right? Imagine you having a whole garden. You wake up in the morning, that shit gone. Right? Nah, you gonna have a big old garden. That garden gonna be yours. Right? You put your clothes on the wire. They drying outside. You ain't gonna go out there and your shirt's missing. Your favorite shirt gone with the wind. We done snatched it. Nah, your shirt gonna be out there when it's dry. It says, "For as the day of a tree are the days of my people." Listen. How long do trees live? On average, the lifespan of a tree can vary a few decades to over 5,000 years. What is the average lifespan of a tree? 350 years. Lord. But it's an ash tree. I guess it varies on the tree. But trees do live long. That's the whole point of it, is that the average lifespan of a person will be as a tree. This is for the nation of Israel only, right? Because what brings death in us, what brings evil, what brings our future judgment of returning back to the Father is our sin. You feel me? That's what we cutting our life short, is sin. That's why a lot of people in the projects, they die very shortly because they're extremely sinful. Right? Now, there's some people who are extremely sinful that live a very long time. That's them. But the majority of our people die young because of our sin, right? Us consuming pork and the diseases that we get from consuming pork, right? We die young, right? Us not caring for our body. I don't have no tattoos, but I be seeing people that are aged with tattoos, and it don't look like it hurt, but it just look funny. Yeah, no, I don't know. Listen. Yeah, never mind. I ain't gonna say that on there. Right, we go keep reading. It says, "And mine elect shall long enjoy the work of their hands. They shall not labor in vain, nor bring forth for trouble, for they are the seed of the blessed of Yahweh, and their offspring with them." Right. So if the brother's still on here, both of those should answer your questions, right? We're going to live extremely long, but even the elect. Now, is this speaking about the 144,000? I don't think so. I think it's just speaking about Israel. But we will have our offspring. Right, verse 24, "And it shall come to pass that before they call, I will answer, and while they are yet speaking, I will hear." Meaning, before you even ask for it, you're going to get it. Right? Will we have technology in the kingdom? Yes. Is it the technology that we have today? Probably not. Right? But technology, it varies from different categories. Because this is technology, you feel me? But a wooden well, with a rope attached, technically technology. Lord of Christ. Yeah, maybe, maybe you might get your own spaceship. Anybody who got a bumper sticker on their spaceship, I'm clowning. You instantly getting fried, but maybe. It depends on the bumper sticker. But maybe you get a flying chariot, maybe not. You know, I wouldn't mind us going back to the ancient times. You feel me? Only issue is the long travels. I mean, if you got to ride a horse, you know, from Galilee to Jerusalem. I mean, Galilee to not Jerusalem, um, Caesarea, where that the Mediterranean Sea is. Is that the Mediterranean Sea? Yeah. That's the only thing that. But we in the glorified bodies, yeah, I ain't complaining. Um, but again, this is speaking about before we even call, we gonna get it. You feel me? Like, man, I need a pickaxe. Let me go get a pickaxe. You open the door, that wouldn't even work. It's like this. It's like you go out to the future, like, man, I forgot my pickaxe. Let me turn around, and then boom, you left one out, right? Because I ain't gonna hold you. Some people, yeah, of course, Teresa. Some people, I enjoy, thinking about back then. You feel me? I enjoy. I don't have a garden, but I would enjoy to have a garden. You feel me? And some people enjoy doing stuff like that, right? You don't have to have a slave to literally do every work. Nah, some people do like to build houses. I know people who genuinely love to build things. They go build things, right? You could do that if you want to garden. You go garden. If you want to tear down a wall, you go tear down a wall. You don't have servants to do it, but if you choose to do it, you can choose to do it. But this is speaking about like, boy, I need a pickaxe. You turn around, you done left on there the other day. Oh, well, look at the Lord before I even asked, He gave it, right? It says the wolf and the lamb shall feed together, and the lion shall eat straw like the bullock, and the dust shall be on the serpent's meat. They shall not hurt nor destroy in all my holy mountains, saith the Lord. Does this mean that we're not going to have a what is it called? The pyramid system? It's called something. A predator prey type thing? No. That's just speaking about nothing's gonna touch us, hurt us, we gonna be straight. Everything's gonna be under obedience unto us. But I want to show you something. Zechariah 8 is by far is my favorite chapter to go to when we're speaking about the kingdom of God, right? And I'm gonna show you why. This is a specific location, right? So this is in the GNT, of course. We're gonna start at verse 4 because that's where we left off at. It says, once again, old men and women. I'll show you something. Once again, old men and women, so old they use canes to walk, will be sitting in the city squares. Imagine that. Imagine a place. What's going on? Hold on. Imagine a place where all the elderly are sitting in a specific location, just talking. So, I'm gonna have to call you back. I'm live right now. Just imagine, a place where all the old heads gather and they just talk and giving wisdom, breaking down life. You feel me? And you just a 15-year-old boy or girl minding your business and you stumble upon it and you're like, hey, well, I'm about to kick it here for a little bit. That is the wisdom circling our community. You feel me? They all playing dominoes and chess, whooping on all the younger ones, and it's just a good old time. Imagine all the elderly, the grandpa and the grandma, imagine all of them just sitting in one location and just having a fun time. But watch this though. It's deeper than that. Watch this. And the streets will again be full of boys and girls playing. So imagine this. Imagine, like right now, for some of y'all got, dead in winter. Out here, it's like 75 degrees. So it's nice out here in Arizona. Imagine the sun is up. You got beautiful trees around you, right? You got beautiful houses and beautiful marketplaces. Everybody wearing their fringes. Everybody got vibrant skin. Everybody looking good. Then you have the elderly. They just talking, chopping it up, having fun over there. And you got little kids playing in the streets. and you got everybody just walking, having fun. Imagine that. You feel me? We have a city in Arizona. It's called Paradise Valley. Reason why it's called Paradise Valley is because um, it's beautiful, right? It's just a beautiful location, right? There's a little river that runs through it. The mountains that surround it is beautiful. The vegetation is high over there. Um, and it's like a little valley where it's just pleasant vegetation. And sometimes I'll be working over there in that city, and I work in the mornings, and I see a bunch of white folks just jogging, riding bikes. They playing with a frisbee. They walking dogs. They walking as a family, and they got little lakes and ponds everywhere. You feel me? So they walking by the pond where the sunset is rising, and it looks great over there. But it's not our people though. You feel me? Our people are already at work. We already an hour into work. You feel me? Some are getting ready for school. Some are stressed out. Some are trying to figure out how they're gonna pay bills. We not there, but they're just having a grand old time like nothing mattered. They're just happy. You feel me? Um, Mind you, in that little city, you won't see liquor stores on each corner, right? You don't even see Walmarts over there. They don't got Walmarts over there. They got like the expensive stores like what's that damn store? Sprouts, expensive as hell, right? I ain't shopping at Sprouts. You're not gonna catch me at Sprouts. Too expensive. They got the expensive stores. You feel me? They don't even be having gas stations like that. Ain't one gas stations over there, right? Um, that's what we gonna have times a million. You feel me? Because we just do things better. we just do it better. You feel me? So that's what the kingdom's gonna be like. You're gonna have the elderly gathered in one location, and then you're gonna have the children playing around, playing football, playing basketball, just chasing each other around, having fun. Watch this. It says, this may seem impossible to those of the nation who are now left. It's almost, for us as Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans, it's almost impossible for us to see that. Almost impossible for us to see it. The closest I've ever seen that really brought great joy is we was at Feast of Tabernacles, not this year, but the year before. And two brothers were racing. Right? Two brothers were racing. So they was running down right here, and I was standing on side of them. I said, hey, Mark, no, somebody else said that, but I was just standing there making sure they was lined up, and they raced. Right now, when they raced, one of them ran goofy as hell, but there's a Brothers of Rock out here in Arizona. He had his family with his kids out, and the kids were laughing, the women and children were laughing, the two that were racing was laughing. The sun was setting, so it looked nice outside. The weather was nice. We was in the wilderness, so we had palm trees. It was just enjoying or enjoyment. You feel me? And I was just surrounded by it. So I'm like, damn, this is what the kingdom will be like every day. You feel me? Non-stop. There's no stopping of, what it's gonna be like. It's gonna consistently be of cheerfulness and joyfulness and just happy. You feel me? We just all excited to be there. You feel me? That's what we can't wait for. But it says, this may seem impossible of the nation or to those of the nation which are now left, but it's not impossible for me. It's not impossible for Yahweh to do it. It says, I will rescue my people from the lands where they have been taken and will bring them back from the east and west to live in Jerusalem. They will be my people and I will be their God, ruling over them faithfully and justly. Right? So faithfully, he's going to be with us, and justly, he's going to be with us. Now, imagine Moses. Moses came down from the mountain, and they said that it looked like his face had shone, right? Like shine. Imagine all of us just in that glory. That's not even as close as the glory. Like Moses wasn't even close to a glorified body. You feel me? Because he died. You feel me? And even he did what was not commanded of him, right? And he almost did not circumcise his child, but he was very close to the Heavenly Father. Imagine how we're going to be moving and operating in the land that is blessing us with the fruit, with the cattle, which we're going to get in a second. Um, verse 8. Yeah, but yes, we'll read that in a second. So I can move on. It says, "Have courage. You are now hearing the same words the prophet spoke at the time the foundation was being laid for rebuilding my temple. Before that time, no one could afford to hire either men or animals, and no one was safe from enemies. I turned people against one another. But now I am treating the survivors of this nation differently. They would plant their crops in peace. Their vines will bear grapes. The earth will produce crops, and there will be plenty of rain. I will give all these blessings to the people of my nation who survive, the people of Judah and Israel. In the past, foreigners have cursed one another by saying, may this same disaster fall on you that fell on Judah and Israel. But I will save you. And then those foreigners will say to one another, may you receive the same blessings that came to Judah and Israel. So have courage and don't be afraid." Imagine that. Imagine that. So now, oh, I gotta turn the ice on this camera. I think it's dark as hell. So now it's like, hey man, I hope God treats you like a black man. You feel me? One that's crazy as hell. But that's what it's like now. You feel me? Why is this like that? It's lucky, y'all. That's what it's like now. You feel me? They don't look at us and say, man, I'm trying to be like them. Nah, they like, hey, bro, I ain't trying to be like a black person. I'd rather be white. You feel me? With being white, I'm safe, right? Rich, plentiful. That's why, you know, when people begin to talk proper, you feel me? Because I don't be talking like this all the time. But when people begin to talk like extremely preppy, they'll say, man, you talking like a white boy. When people begin to use big words and increase their vocabulary, what do they associate it with? White folks. You feel me? Man, you don't like it when you begin to stop talking like a nigga from the projects, they'll associate you with talking like a white boy. You're talking smart. Man, when you go into college and you get a degree, now this is not for everybody, but they'll naturally say, yeah, man, he not fucking with us no more, bro. He fucking with the white folks. Because the nigga going to college, the nigga smart, he's smart like the white folks, bro. When you good at math, you smart like an Asian. You feel me? It's not you smart like us. Nah, you smart like an Asian. You feel me? They associated with other nations. With us, we get associated with poverty, projects, death, destruction, drugs, those things. But God said, I'm not, these people are not going to be saying, I hope you get cursed like Judah and Jerusalem. I hope you fall like Judah and Jerusalem. No, they're going to say, may you receive the same blessings that came to Judah and Israel. That's what they going to be talking about. Hey, listen, man. May you be blessed like them Israelites that live in Jerusalem right now. That's how they're going to be talking, right? So it tells us, so have courage and don't be afraid. Right, verse 14. The Lord Almighty says, when your ancestors made me angry, I planned disaster for them and did not change my mind, but carried out my plans. But now I am planning to bless the people of Jerusalem and Judah. So don't be afraid. These are the things you should do. Speak truth to one another in courts, in the courts, give real justice. The kind that brings peace, right? Bring peace. Do not plan ways of harming one another. Do not give false testimony on the earth. I hate lying, injustice, and violence. Right? Let's read this real quick. Right? Ezekiel 38 or 36 and 8 in the GNT. It says, but the mountains of Israel will produce heavy crops of fruit for my people, but they will be coming home soon. Right? See, I care about you and will pay attention to you. Your ground will be plowed and your crops planted. I will greatly increase the population of Israel, and the ruined cities will be rebuilt and filled with people. Right? Imagine, just imagine, you walking around, seeing a whole bunch of Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans in fringes, laughing, having a good time. Niggas ain't hating each other. We smooth. We live in great. University of Phoenix. Be great. I mean, we're not gonna be in just arguing with each other all the time. You feel me? Those are in New York where y'all be living, thousands of people in one building, and you hear all the arguments. Nah, ain't none of that no more. Right? Ain't no back and forth with your rib. Ain't no back and forth with your brother or your sister. No back and forth with your husband trying to get him to keep the commandments. Ain't none of that. We're gonna be on one accord. Right? Verse 11. I will increase not only the people, but also your animals. So our cattle, O mountains of Israel. I will bring people to live on you once again. And I will make you even more prosperous than you were before. Then you will know that I am Yahweh. I will cause my people to walk on you once again, and you will be their territory. You will never again rob them of their children. Right? So that's the other nations taunt you, saying Israel is a land that devours its own people and robs them of their children. You will never devour your people or rob them or of their children, says Yahweh. Right? So basically, we're just gonna have a very fruitful, very populous land. Right? So that's a glimpse of the. I cannot give y'all a clear picture of what the kingdom will look like because I have never been there. It's almost impossible for me not to imagine it, right? That's why Yahweh had told us it's not impossible for him to do it. Right? It's just impossible for us to imagine. But before we end this class, make sure that y'all go over to Tazarab Sakari and hit that notify me for this oneness debate. It's coming out tomorrow. It says 5:30 in the afternoon, but I'm gonna change that. It'll be uploaded in the morning, right? So right when you wake up in the morning, you should be able to see that video, watch that video, right? It's just a deity, right? I found a new way that I like to debate, and that's really just to use other people's doctrine and logic against them. You feel me? So if y'all seen that recent live on Friday, I debated a Christian, and I just had him explain it. I said, okay, cool. If that's what you believe in, how would that make sense with this? They can't explain it, right? The truth will stand, and the truth will forever stand, right? It's not going to move, it's not going to budge, and it's not going to fold, right? So in that oneness debate, you will see me multiple times utilizing his doctrine against him and get him to double talk. Because if you double talk, you're not telling the truth. If you go back on your words all the time, if you constantly change, yeah, you just don't have a sure foundation with your doctrine, right? So that's what I do constantly in that in that video. So make sure that y'all go, like, share, and subscribe to that. All right, so with that, of course, go to Rob Yawasop's channel. Let me show y'all. Right, there's two brothers that are live right now, that are giving out powerful edification. Both of them have, 132 people watching and 59 people watching. Right, Rob's doing the whole debate right now, so make sure that y'all go watch that debate. Or if you just want random information and knowledge, you can go visit Ariella Sakaria. Make sure y'all subscribe to both of them, and make sure that y'all hit that bell on their channel as well. Right, so I appreciate y'all staying in tune. Tuesday we'll be going over archaeology, Lord willing. But with that, I want to say, call Yahweh Ba, Shema Mashiach, Yahushua, us all praise to the Most High name of His only begotten Son, who are Italy calls Jesus Christ. Kwame Yahshua. I hope to see y'all at Passover, right? And Ayanda Bar Lily. I hope to see y'all at Passover, and y'all stay safe out here.